So
Absolutely.
I got one more question for you then. So what is what do you think is the current, your estimate on current attachment rates in residential and then in commercial CNI of PV plus storage? And what do you think that will be after April?
Yeah, and I've been asking that same question when I keep talking to a lot of folks that have been in the industry for 10 years. I have my opinion. I'm going to share it with you.
Okay.
Let's start with this. We just went back and pulled data. We didn't actually distinguish between CNI or Resi. We just said, show me every project in California. What sort of attachment rate have we seen? And this is obviously on the modeling side, right? These are people running
Right.
proposals, and we're
Using
fluctuating.
your platform, Energy
This is
Toolbase,
our platform. This is
which
platform wide in California, I should say.
right.
And you're seeing attachment rates for projects modeled on Energy Toolbase in the last 3 years between 15 and 20%. And you can see it's grown. Certainly, if you were to trace this all the way back to like 14, 15, 16, it's steadily grown, and then it's frankly leveled off a bit.
Yeah.
Okay, so the big question is, and it's one I'm thinking about a lot, what is a realistic expectation a year from now? Where will the attachment rate be? I'd say very, very, a lot higher. This is a cool service. We really like these guys, Ohm Analytics. They, scrape data all over the country.
Yep. Chris Collins.
Bingo. They're
my,
really
my
doing
first
some neat work
video
there.
my first video interview on Solar Academy was with Chris Collins, actually.
This is a great guy, and
Yeah.
we're getting a lot of value out of that tool right now.
Yeah.
This is actually more powerful than the chart I just showed you, because this is actual permitted or interconnection pulled data. These are actual projects. The takeaway here is if you look at, what is it, the blue line, that's on the left axis.
Yeah.
California, call it somewhere between, I'm just eyeballing here, maybe 8 and 14% over the last couple of years. So
okay, so what is the y-axis on the right side of the
Great
chart?
question. That is where I'm going to point you next, which is, well, that's Hawaii. That's the gray line. And that is for sure the closest comparison that we have really to what NEM3 is about to look like, just in terms of the exported value of energy in Hawaii is very close to zero. Depending on the tariff you connect on, there's some kind of nuance to that.
Right.
But the Hawaii data, this is actual interconnected permitting data. If you look back the last 3 years, fluctuating between 80, in some cases north of 90%. So incredible. Well, we're talking 8 or 9 out of 10 projects in the state of Hawaii are solar plus storage.
Got it.
California, 15%.
So the axis on the left is Hawaii only, and the axis
that's correct.
the axis on the right is
this is everything else.
Got it.
Yeah,
wow,
so
what a difference.
It's
but so California, okay, then California is 10%ish.
8 to 10, 8 to 12.
And this is this Resi or commercial?
This, my understanding is, it's a very fair question. He didn't make a distinction, so my assumption is this is all permitted.
More Resi. Chris's focus is more Resi.
Probably, and also, shoot, if you just by sheer count of permits and applications,
exactly. Commercial will be like
30x more Resi projects. So this is probably skews heavy Resi.
Wow.
Okay, so back to your question. Again, Hawaii's the best, analog we have, and if you ask me a year from now, I would be very surprised if we're not north of 75%, which seems like a crazy.
Really, for California or
for California straight away. Let me zoom.
I know you're talking 7x, but do we even have the supply for that?
That's the next question that's getting asked. And is the industry ready? And are the vendors got the supply? Well, the nice thing is don't forget, there's this big, huge rush to get in and get NEMS 2 status. So there's a big backlog building.
Sure, yeah.
I think any installer would tell you their backlog is 2 or 3x longer than it normally would be, just because there's a lot of sales. So that'll take some time to work through. I don't think you're even really installing NEM3 projects until Q4 of this year.
For sure.
So that makes sense. One other thing, let me go back here. Again, I know we're talking commercial. This is a really crazy comparison here. Yeah, this is one example. This is Resi, but I just think the Resi attachment rate, I would be shocked if it doesn't go. I think it's going to be very, very difficult in the state of California to sell solar only a year from now. Not to say it won't happen, because the value proposition is still good. It's not terrible, But I think it's just there's so many advantages. You were able to capture so much more bill savings.
Wow. But it is
You-
going from like, I mean, hey, I installed solar in San Diego, what, 6 years ago? Probably 5, 6 years ago with a 3-year payback. And now it's going to 8-year payback.
It is. It
Okay,
is.
maybe
And
it's still possible to do 7 or 6 if you negotiate. Great. But yeah, that is a change. That is a big change.
so this will be a key one to watch. It's an open question. I feel like somebody should do a poll out there in the industry. We should kind of take bets on a year from now. I think it'll be quite high. There will still likely be some solar only. You know, on the commercial side, it might not be quite as high because if you're sizing, let's say you have a warehouse, and oftentimes you're not sizing 100% offset system just because you don't have enough, space on the roof. You don't feel the pain of NEM3 as much in situations. Again, it's really hinges a lot on this. How much export is your grid? So if you're sizing a system that only offsets 50% of annual consumption, well, that might only be offsetting, exporting
I mean,
25% to grid.
but that asset might have a 3-year payback on its own. It might not offset all your consumption, but it still is going to be a very attractive financial return.
That's true.
Just size it for that midday consumption. Got it.